Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Empowered Gems Tarot. My name is Melissa. This channel used to be called Tarot by Melissa, so if you were searching for me there under that name, you are in the right place. Today's video topic is going to be looking into what's ahead for you in the upcoming month of September. So we're just going to be taking a look at general energies, events, situations, scenarios of significance that you may want to know about as you head into the upcoming month ahead. We will be working with both Oracle and Tarot cards in this reading, as well as charms and Astro dice to kind of get a full, well-rounded snapshot of what's happening with you. Getting into our disclaimers, keep in mind, guys, that this is a general reading on YouTube. This is not a personalized reading to your own unique and specific energy. So even though there is an element of you selecting one of these three groups to get a reading today, you want to keep in mind that these are still readings that are for the collective. So it's going to really be looking into the more general themes and energies that that specific collective is experiencing within that given pile or group of cards that you selected. So with that being said, it is normal sometimes for these readings not to fully resonate with you. Sometimes you might find that they resonate super specifically. Other times it may not feel so personalized, and that's totally normal. As a best practice, look at these as general guidance, and if anything ever feels confusing to you or it doesn't feel like it fits your situation, simply just release it and let it go. Don't spend a lot of time dwelling on it because it's probably a message that's meant for someone else. If you guys did want to book a personal reading, all the details on how you can book with me will be linked in the description box down below. You can connect with me at EmpoweredGemsTarot.com and see all the different service offerings that I have. All right, let's go ahead and select your reading. So we do have a choice between three groups for today's pick a card. If you're feeling drawn to group number 1, we will be working with this Bloodstone cube. If you're drawn to group number 2, we'll be working with this little Firefly Quartz. If you're drawn to group 3, we'll be working with this little Pyrite sphere. I want you guys to take a deep breath and reflect on the upcoming month ahead. Go ahead and select either the crystal or the group of cards that you're feeling the most intuitively connected to. And once you've made your choice, scroll down to the description box below to locate the timestamp that connects to your corresponding reading. See you there? Hey group 1, and welcome to your reading. So today we are looking into what's ahead for you for the upcoming month of September. And we will be starting with Oracle and Tarot cards and then moving into charms and Astro dice to get a well-rounded message for you. I will have the timestamps below for the charms in case you guys like to skip ahead to that. Before we dive in, keep in mind, this is a general collective reading on YouTube, and it may not resonate with everyone. It's probably not going to resonate with everyone. So take it as it resonates, use it as general, guidance for you. If anything's feeling confusing or like it doesn't really fit for you, that's probably a sign that it's not your message. Just release that and let it go. So let's take a look at your overall energies for the month ahead, group 1. So we've got the energy of reflection coming up. We also have opposition coming up here as well. So we're going to build on this here in a minute. I kind of see you guys this month making some efforts to go inward with this reflection energy being here. I think to really try to make sense of some sort of conflict in your life. Now, oppositions are interesting because on this card, it's talking about confrontation. So you guys could be finding that you're like butting heads with someone, or maybe you're kind of at odds against yourself. There's a situation here where there's a conflict, like whether it be an inner conflict or a conflict with someone else, which we'll look into in a moment. But oppositions can also kind of talk about feeling like we're pulled into different directions, right? Like maybe we are feeling like we are drawn to something specific over here, but maybe there's something else that's drawing us over here, and we're kind of struggling to integrate those energies, right? So again, this could be something that's inward within you, like an inner struggle within like who you are as a person, your authenticity, but it could also be something that's happening like external to you. We have the Hermit card showing itself as well. So definitely an energy of pulling back here. So let's see, group one. What else, Spirit, does group one need to know about this upcoming month of September and the energies ahead for them? We have the Justice card. Okay. We also have the Nine of Swords, and we have Judgment coming out together. And we have the Five of Swords here at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, so there's kind of this energy I see of you guys wanting to kind of let go of some sort of a conflict. You know, Five of Swords in reverse, it's kind of like this energy of letting go of conflict, walking away from drama or just like antics that are not serving you, walking away from people in your surroundings that are causing problems or issues, conflict. Because whatever this is, it's like not even a battle that's worth fighting for with the Five of Swords. And I see you guys really preferring to step into an energy of camaraderie and celebration. So I do think there could be something about people that's significant here. We're going to see as we get more into your charms, because sometimes that'll be more specifically highlighted. But there's some sort of new beginning here. That you guys are walking into with community and home or family matters, maybe even just people, coworkers, something like that, community in the general sense. And we're walking away with that Five of Swords reversed from the drama of it all, the conflict of it all. So there's kind of this energy with the Justice card of everyone, like, I think you guys are really trying to take a more balanced approach, a more neutral approach to things. You know, justice is neutrality, right? It's kind of being objective and impartial about the way that we're going about things. And maybe that's part of you guys dialing back your energy here, is like you're understanding that maybe you're too in it, and you need to kind of take a step back and look at it from a more kind of neutral perspective, really taking the emotion or the fear or the anxiety with the Nine of Swords out of the situation. There is this energy here with the Nine of Swords and Judgment where, like, I think that there is an opportunity to kind of move forward in a new direction with regard to the situation. But again, I feel you guys kind of anxious about it. You're not sure what the right direction is that you may want to go, even though this new opportunity is here, like on the horizon for you. Maybe that's why we have that Fool energy kind of buried within the ethers of the deck here, right? Because right before we get to the Fool, we have Judgment, and then we have the World, which talks about closing out a chapter, closing out a cycle. So you guys could be maybe reevaluating something in your life and really kind of working through some conflict around like what your priorities are and what the direction is you want to go that feels the most authentic to you. Okay, so it's like I'm really drawn to her. This could be creative in nature for some of you as well, but I'm being really drawn to like the music notes. To me, it's like this energy of creativity and change, and you know, you being able to kind of play your authentic music metaphorically with regard to whatever direction it is that you're evaluating heading into. So let's continue group one. You guys also did choose Bloodstone as your crystal today too. And Bloodstone is supposed to be very good for like stress reduction, helping to kind of calm and stabilize emotions. It's supposed to help bring inner peace and self-confidence as well. So again, it really does feel like there's something about yourself that you are evaluating. I do think that there are other people involved here externally, but you're kind of like going within and trying to center yourself and kind of own your own stuff with regard to whatever the situation is. Okay, so let's continue group one. What else, Spirit, for group one this upcoming month of September? What do they need to know? Working with the energy oracle for this. Let's see. We have the sacral, the second chakra in reverse. Let's see. You guys could be feeling a little creatively blocked right now as well. We also have action. And yeah, there's like this desire to move forward in a new and positive direction, moving forward into a place of personal life improvements, right? This is the door to personal healing and happiness. So this is all about like you guys getting improvements, better quality of life to your personal well-being, okay? So yeah, there's definitely a desire here to take action. I'm going to take a look really quick at the guidebook for this sacral second chakra in reverse. This is number 36. Let's see. So yeah, this is so interesting. Like lots of themes here about going inward so that we can act, going inward so that we can understand like what's off balance for us so that we can properly channel our energy forward. So in reverse, this card is about feeling like your creativity is being blocked. If this is the case, you might need to take more risks and then open up to new and different ideas. Go inward to find the feelings that may be causing this blockage, which is exactly what we've been talking about. Call upon Ariel to help you release old fears and self-limitations. Affirm that you're open to Spirit's love and creative inspiration. This card can also signal problems with intimacy of all kinds and issues of sexual intimacy in particular. That could be significant for some of you. Visualize Ariel spinning a beautiful light in your second chakra, calming and healing the energy there. Know that real closeness can be both safe and comfortable for you, and that you deserve a depth of sharing in your relationships. I definitely think for a lot of you guys, this is like, it's a dual message that I'm getting where, yes, there's something about moving forward with creative inspiration and maybe feeling a little bit blocked coming into this month. But I do think that there is something about relationships being involved, and that's going to be on a different level depending on, you know, your personal situation. Because I see a lot of people here in the undertones of your reading, but the main focus is self, right? Like how you are personally navigating these things. So let's see, group number 1. We're going to pull a couple of these oracles and then we're going to move into the charms. What other energies can we get? What other messages Spirit can we get for group 1 about their upcoming month of September? We have the Wizard. Use your skills to aid others. So some of you guys could be doing something that is meant to kind of be of service to others, you know, your own unique skills. Maybe there's something that you've committed to here with the Justice card, that you use your unique skills to support other people that need it, but you're feeling maybe a little blocked or unsure if this is really like the best fit at this time. Like there's there's like a conflict here. Okay. We have 2 flipping over. We have the Green Man, the forces of nature favor you, and we have the Wolf, beware who you trust. So that's interesting. Yeah, see, again, there's that energy with the 5 of Swords where maybe we have people around us this month that we're not really sure if we can trust them, where we need to maybe exercise a little bit of discernment or judgment here. And I feel like with that 9 of Swords, with judgment, that could be part of what you're maybe feeling a little stressed or anxious about, is not being sure if you can really trust some of the people in your surroundings or some of the people that you're partnering with. There's definitely, I think, reason to be cautious, okay? Because you've walked away from some sort of energy that's not very positive this month, group number 1. But Spirit is saying with the Green Man that external forces are actually working in your favor at this time. And so I think with this opposition energy, what you guys are really called to do this month is to go within and kind of work through the inner conflict within self. Because once you're able to be, I think, more aligned with self, your desires, your wants, your authenticity with this matter, it's going to be a lot easier for you to move forward in maybe a more positive or just like fast-paced direction. Because I do feel you guys wanting to kind of move on something, but there's a blockage here with your creativity. So we're going to clear off the table, group 1, and I'm going to get set up for your charms to get some additional messages here. All right, group 1. So let's go ahead and get into your dice and charms just to kind of see what other info we can get about your month of September. So let's see. Look at that. Spirit and self being highlighted right away. We have Sagittarian energy, Pentacles, Waxing Crescent. Okay, let's pull some charms for you guys. so we've got some stuff coming up in the home space. Let's see. I feel like this is kind of like in the middle here, so we'll keep that. Little teddy bear energy, which is interesting. Some initials. The J, okay. Let's see. Interesting that the music note is coming up, because remember we were kind of talking about that with the judgment card here. So let's see, guys. Where do I want to start with this? I mean, I definitely find it interesting that like the first thing that kind of popped up was the number 1 here with regard to the self, your spiritual side and your self energy. Number 1 has to do with independence and determination. Okay, so definitely kind of echoing what I was getting, that like even though we have some external stuff happening this month, which Spirit is saying like things are going in your favor in this regard, there's still like more of a focus on like your inner world and how you're navigating it. And I think trusting your intuition with regard to others is like a huge part of this, because we have the little skull and crossbones here, which can talk about like like red flags, like beware, right? There's something, someone or something that might be a little bit like not the healthiest, or there's just something about it where there's like a red flag, a caution that you need to take, or a precaution maybe that you need to take. And so I feel like Spirit is saying like trust in your intuition. That's kind of on the advice side too. Like trust in your intuition as you're navigating this month. We have the letter F coming through as well. So this could be the initials of someone or something of significance, maybe family, somebody's name. It could be unique to each of you out there. We also have the little swan here in the advice section, which talks about loyalty and like partnerships, right? So again, I think what Spirit is saying is like loyalty. What are you loyal to, and who's loyal to you? Where do your loyalties lie? That should be kind of like maybe that's the red flag that you guys are being guided to kind of pay attention to. Like if your intuition is saying, something about this is feeling a little like off or something about this is feeling a little petty, it may not be in my highest good to engage, right? So let's see what else we have here. I feel like with career, we have some good stuff going on this month. So we've got the 4-leaf clover, which talks about luck. We have Sagittarian energy as well, which is also quite lucky. So for some of you guys with career, there could be a lot of expansiveness this month. And maybe that's kind of like part of the decision, or maybe even the blockage that you've been experiencing, right? Like trying to figure out what the right direction is for you to go, but I see a lot of fortunate energy here with both of these energies in career and business. With Sagittarius, some of you guys could be moving into something that's more focused on like higher education or just learning something new. Maybe teaching is significant. Sagittarius also talks about philosophy, religion, spirituality, kind of like our belief systems and things like that. And with that 4-leaf clover, again, this appears to be an area of good fortune and luck for you guys coming up this month. Abundance. So things seem to be going well with career and business this month that I see. We do have some interesting stuff coming up with money and finances over here. So we've got the letter J and the letter D. So that could be like someone's initials. Maybe it's DJ, JD. Could be initials for like other things. But the teddy bear is kind of interesting because this signifies like the keyword of trauma. And so I think of like childhood stuff with this. It's possible that some of you guys could be working through like some inner child stuff around your relationship with money and wealth this month. That could be a theme that's coming through for you. Maybe there is like I'm seeing a vision of like the Chiron asteroid, the little symbol for Chiron in astrology. I'm seeing that in my mind right now. So there could be some sort of like wound around worth I'm getting for some of you as it pertains to your money, or some sort of habit or behavior that you guys kind of picked up on from childhood around wealth that you're working through this upcoming month of September. It may not be the case for everyone out there, but I do feel that's something significant for at least one of you watching this reading. So working around our little charm board here, we have a couple things here in health and well-being. So let's see. The music note is so interesting because it talks about being in sync. And I feel like whatever is happening with you guys, I think that you're coming off of a month where maybe like your mental health or your stress levels, right? Remember you guys selected the Bloodstone. Something has been elevating your stress levels, okay? Impacting your well-being. And so this music note here is talking about like bringing things back into sync and doing practices, engaging in practices that promote you being authentic and having a better kind of flow in your life as it pertains to like your day-to-day stuff. We have the Pentacle energy here, which talks about finances or support. We also have the waxing crescent moon, which talks about moving towards your goals. So some of you guys might be investing in your health and your wellness this month in a new and different way, or maybe you've just kind of started that as we've headed into the month of September. So you're kind of at a new beginning in this area of trying to kind of get this area of life a little bit more in sync. So we're just kind of starting off. So you may not see a ton of like progress or results overnight, but you're putting in the work now to see those long-term results in the future, which is really beautiful. Closing it out here, we've got you, and we've got the little diamond and the little seahorse with home and family. So this was kind of interesting because we did see this Four of Wands here, which can talk about home and family matters. So this diamond can talk about making a promise. It's also kind of giving me the vibe of like clearing your energy in a way. Maybe there's something around the home that you're clearing or cleansing this month. The seahorse is correlated to past life energy, which is kind of interesting. Definitely feels like there's some sort of like connection to like the finances, the worth, self-worth energy with home and family that you guys could be exploring this month, clearing the energy around. And with the letter U being here, it's making me feel like it's you, like it's pointing at you around this, which is pretty interesting. But again, with that diamond, there's kind of this energy of like a new promise that you're making to yourself around this. Interesting that the seahorse is resembling like past lives here. I'm also kind of feeling like intuitively with the seahorse, you guys know how like this is a creature where the male actually carries the babies, which is like very interesting, right? Because you don't really see that in nature. Like the male carries the eggs, I want to say. So I'm wondering if there's something around the father for some of you guys this month that you're working through, or something around the father and them being the caretaker that is significant here for some. Maybe some of you viewing this are a father and are kind of stepping into that more like maternal or caretaker type of role. And that could be where some of the maybe like self-sabotage or stress is coming from as well. But overall, it looks like a really interesting month ahead. Group 1. I would love to hear from you in the comments if this reading did resonate with you. Tell me how it did. And if you would like to continue to support my work, please do like this video, share it if you can, and of course subscribing and hitting the notification bell will make sure that you're notified whenever I post new content. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the next reading. Bye. Hey Group 2, and welcome to your reading. So today we're looking into what's ahead for you this upcoming month of September. We're going to start with Oracle and Tarot cards first, and then we'll transition into Astro dice and charms. I will have this part of the reading timestamped below in case any of you guys prefer to skip ahead to that portion earlier. Before we jump in, do keep in mind this is a general reading, so the messages are not going to resonate for everybody. As a best practice, if anything is feeling like it's confusing or just doesn't fit for you, don't try to force it to fit. Just release it, let it go. That message was likely meant for somebody else who chose Group 2. All right, so let's jump in, Group 2, and see what your overall energies are looking like this month. So we have the message of ritual. And then we also have retrograde coming through. Okay. So some of you guys could be witches or tapping into some of those practices this month with ritual being here, but I feel like you guys are like a ritual kind of has to do with setting intentions or patterns or some sort of practice that we are incorporating into our day-to-day. And I feel like whatever this ritual is about for you, Group 2, there could be an energy of maybe like doing this ritual with the intention of achieving a certain type of goal. And maybe this is the month with retrograde here where you're kind of starting to reevaluate your progress, reevaluate your desires. Maybe it's more of like an introspective type of ritual that we're looking into this month, or just kind of going within to reflect and slow things down a little bit. Maybe the ritual that you're doing is about slowing down. But retrogrades, like especially like when I think of, retrogrades in general typically have to do with us going within, slowing things down, looking inward, and doing some reflection for answers. So let's see if we can get a little bit more info here for you guys around like what's ahead. What else, Spirit, does Group 2 have coming up for them this month of September? Okay, wow. You know what? I'm going to put these back in and just do a little bit more shuffling here. What else, Spirit? What's ahead for Group 2 this upcoming month of September? Okay, so we've got the Nine of Wands in reverse. And the Ten of Cups. Devil energy here at the bottom of the deck. So maybe the ritual here that you guys are starting is, or the practices with your day-to-day have to do with bad habits or something toxic that you guys get sucked into. I love this depiction of the devil because I think it really conveys like the energy of being lured by bad habits, right? Like we have the ice cream cone, we have like the money energy here, like kind of being drawn into something that looks really good and appealing on the outside, but may not be the best for us for the long term consistently. And I definitely feel that you guys, with the Four of Cups being here, there's like this energy of like emptiness or hollowness or just dissatisfaction with things. Maybe you've been drawn into this because you've been looking for excitement for some of you with this Ace of Wands. It seems like there are people around you, maybe like a child for some of you around you or someone younger trying to like get your attention. Children, I feel, are maybe significant here for some. But point being is with the devil being here, I think there's like a recognition that like something that is happening in your life is not serving you in your highest good. And with the Nine of Wands in reverse, this is typically coming through and we've like kind of thrown in the towel on something. We've kind of given up on something. So maybe for some of you, it's about like throwing in the towel on this devil energy, throwing in the towel on the addictiveness, the workaholic energy, the bad habit, whatever it is, and going within to kind of like reflect. Instead of exerting so much energy on it, it's like giving up and saying, I need some time to reflect, go within and reset with some better practices here. And with the Ten of Cups, this is making me feel like you guys are kind of maybe focused more on your family this month. Spending quality time with family members, children, parents, people that you love, focusing on your support system that you have around you. And I do feel like a lot of you guys have a very strong support system that you can lean into during this time as you're kind of reviewing your situation. Okay, so let's see what else, Spirit, for Group 2. What else, Spirit, for Group 2 this month? Yeah, I just feel like you guys have been very drained and exhausted by whatever this is. That Devil card could even be talking about some sort of a toxic situation, like a toxic home situation, work environment. It could be really anything that is causing you stress. That Nine of Wands indicates stress. Okay. Oh, wow. We've got caring connections coming through. So partnership energy. We also have the Angel of Balance. Interesting. And look, we have happy family here at the bottom of the deck. So yeah, it definitely seems like family is significant here. I think that there is a need this month for you guys to bring balance back into life, specifically as it pertains to your connections with others, your family, your children, your spouse, your partner, your friends, whoever the significant support system in your life. Because this card really talks about needing to make sure that we are taken care of and that we are feeling centered and balanced so that we can be able to cultivate those connections and kind of like extend ourselves out to others. And so I think that there is an element of you guys like looking to kind of strike that balance in your day to day around like what you're giving to your partner, what you're giving to your children, your family, but also like what you're pouring into yourself. Because with this Nine of Wands, I feel like you guys are just exhausted with something this month. Something has been very stressful that we're kind of like letting go on or giving up on this month. It could be specifically connected to something with partnership, but let's see. I want to take a look at this caring connections from the guidebook. So we've got friendship, partnership of two, possible love. This card shows a couple in a tender embrace with the woman holding the blossoms of new love. Like the community card, this reveals a caring connection, but usually between two people only. This card upright signals the beginning or deepening of a kindred spirit friendship or even the appearance of new love. It can also signify a formal business partnership. When this card appears, be on the lookout for new connections presenting themselves. The relationships you already share may become more intimate, purposeful, or present at this time. Notice the opportunities to forge new or deeper bonds. There may be tender karmic connection at hand. Interesting. So new love for some of you guys, or a deepening of a current love. It feels like it's a deepening of something current for a lot of you guys. But there's going to be importance here on like being centered, right, in yourself and self-honoring in your choices, regardless of who and what is around you. Okay, so let's see. We're going to pull a couple of these and then we're going to move into the charms and the dice. What else, please, Spirit? We've got the Chalice, rejuvenation and fulfillment. Love that. Let's go one more. Maybe some of you guys are doing like a family vacay. Look at this, a new relationship blossom. Maybe it is new love for some of you. But look at this. We also have a temptation may lead you astray, which is so interesting with this Devil. So some of you guys, I think, are maybe... I definitely see with this Four of Cups, you guys are wanting that rejuvenation, that fulfillment when it comes to love. And maybe there's some sort of new connection that's presenting itself to you this month where you kind of feel like you're getting that. But there's definitely an energy here of you guys needing to be cautious of this energy. Situations that are feeling really good, but you know that they're not really good for you long term. Okay. We have water. Emotions are at their peak. Okay. So there's something very emotional about this for some of you, or maybe who you're connecting with or how you're connecting with them is very much like driven by your emotions at this time. But I feel like there is a concerted effort or emphasis here from Spirit around like good habits and balance. And like this card is talking about being self-honoring in your choices, not allowing other people and their needs or their temptations to lead you off course. So this could be, again, like why we're going within to reflect a little bit as well. So this is interesting, group 2. I'm going to clear off these cards and we're going to transition into the charms next to see what other info we can get. All right, group number 2. So let's go ahead and transition into your dice and the charms, and we will see what other info we can get about this energy for the month of September. All right, let's see. So we've got Saturn here. So discipline, self-discipline is being highlighted. And also the number 1 of individuality, which is interesting. We've got Capricorn here. So it's interesting that we have Capricorn coming up here because the devil is ruled by the sign of Capricorn. So it's interesting that it's coming up in finances and wealth. It's making me think that whatever this temptation energy is has to do with money, chasing money, career, workaholic energy, maybe even like a tempting work relationship for some of you. Let's see. Let's pull some charms. What else, Spirit, for my group 2 viewers the month of September? All right, so we've got some initials here. Oh, wow. Red flag energy coming up with home and family. That's interesting. I feel like I dropped one on the floor, but I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So group 2. There is definitely something here with like your spirit, like this energy of self, right? Where it's like Spirit is asking you to be disciplined with Saturn. Saturn is like our karma. It can be karma. It can be like discipline, structure, responsibilities. And there's definitely some sort of energy of restriction here of self, a boundary that you need to be setting. I think it makes a lot of sense because we have this energy, this indication of temptation here, right? That we saw in your cards. And the emphasis from Spirit is on you, right? Like you coming up with new rituals, you coming up with new practices to ensure balance and not overindulgence or overdoing it in some way. And we have the letter F here. This could have to do with family, right? This could also be somebody's initials or the initials of like where you work, or it could be a lot of different things. It depends on the person. But it's interesting that we have this kind of like caution energy. Like something about this is connected to your family. Something about this is connected to the home. This energy of needing to be disciplined here. I want to go up here to the career energy. So we've got the waning crescent moon, which talks about like dialing back, restoring, relaxing. So there's something about career that is like winding down for you this month. Maybe this is the area where we're kind of using that retrograde energy to go within and reflect, take a break. I feel like some of you guys could even be going on like a vacation with your family or something like that to like decompress. We have this family energy here at the beach, right? So there could be something along those lines that you're doing to kind of bring in that balance and take a break from work. But it's so interesting that we have that Capricorn energy here with finances. Like I think there's a part of that devil, that temptation energy that's tied to money for you. But Capricorn has to do with hard work. It also has to do with meeting our goals. It can have to do with ambition, which makes sense with the devil as well. And you guys also have the little strawberry here, which talks about spring. So to me, the season of spring is symbolic to new beginnings. It's like maybe there are some seeds that you guys have planted coming up to this point that you've invested a lot of time, effort, energy in that are now starting to spring to life, and you're able to kind of see the results, the fruits of your labor from those efforts. Or there's some sort of new beginning here that you're getting with finances based off of hard work that you've put in up to this point. We also have the letter I, so this is going to be talking about like I as in you, self. Again, it could be somebody else's initials too. but there's definitely like an energy of working less this month and maybe focusing more on like that balance energy when it comes to career, kind of restoring, relaxing that energy. We have some other stuff here too. So we've got under the health and well-being, this is about the clothespin is securing and holding something down, which is kind of interesting with Saturn because I feel like it's kind of mirroring that for me. It's like this energy of restraint or boundaries or like holding something in place structurally, like metaphorically. Something about these boundaries is supposed to be helpful to your well-being this month is what Spirit is saying. Okay. Well, I didn't even see the little crown here in the center, so that's interesting. We'll come to that in a moment. We also have social life energy, the 11th house. So some of you guys could be connecting with like a community this month. There's like an emphasis. It could be family, but it could also be like your soul family connected to this. But 11th house is like groups of others and community. It can also talk about online energy too, online communities. So that could be significant to this group as well. We have some initials here with partnerships and love. So the letter D and the letter Q, these could be initials for some people, for some of my viewers here. D for dad for some of you maybe. We also have this little navigation helm, which talks about like, literally the key word is navigation. So there's something about movement and navigating with partners or partnerships in general, those one-on-one relationships, like we were discussing with the Caring Connections card that came through. So that's pretty interesting. This crown is also really interesting because the crown talks about honor and respect. And I think of sovereignty as well. And I love that it's kind of just landed here in the center of the charm board because to me, this is kind of the heart of the reading group too. It's all about like you going within to evaluate your situation and start a practice of balance and making those self-honoring choices in everything you do. And this could mean in order to keep that crown on metaphorically and to resist the things that we know are not good for us, that we are implementing some strictness, some boundaries that we need to enforce. Okay. So closing it out under the advice and guidance section, we have the number 1, which has to do with independence and determination. We also have the water element, which talks about emotions, which is kind of interesting, right? Because we had that coming through here as well, emotions being at their peak. Okay. So I feel like Spirit this month is wanting you to like maybe even get more in touch with your emotions because there's something connected to your emotions this month that I feel you guys have just been maybe not fully connected to yourself. You've been dissatisfied or turned off, or just something has been feeling very boring or apathetic to you. I feel like Spirit is wanting you to get in touch with you, like with this individuality energy. Like Spirit is wanting you to get in touch with you and your feelings and your desires and be more like connected to yourself by disconnecting from some of these other things that have been pulling you in other like unnecessary directions, I feel. So I think this is what I see for you, group 2. We're going to end your message here, but comment below if this reading did resonate with you. If you found it helpful, please comment below. I would love to hear from you. And if you guys are not already and you want to support my work, please do subscribe to the channel. You can hit the notification bell so that way you're updated when I post new content and any channel specific announcements. I will see you there in the next one. Bye. Hey group 3, and welcome to your reading. If you guys selected this Pyrite sphere, this is going to be your message for the month of September. We're going to start with tarot and oracle cards as always, and then we will transition into charms and dice. I will have the charms and dice portion timestamped for you guys below in case anyone likes to skip ahead to that a little bit quicker. So keep in mind, it's a general reading, which means the messages are not going to resonate with everyone out there. That's normal. It's going to happen. As a best practice, if anything that I'm saying feels confusing or just doesn't really feel like it fits for you, it's probably just a sign that it's not your message. So just release that and let it go. Respect that it was a message for someone else in this collective that selected group 3. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's jump in. So overall energy this month, group 3, we've got the message of journey. And we've also got the first house. Ooh, okay. Very cool. Okay. So this is very strongly sort of giving me the vibe that you guys are maybe on a journey of self-discovery this month with the first house and this journey card. The journey is interesting because I'm drawn to how she's sort of like nude on this new path that is laid out in front of her. And so it's giving me this vibe that you guys are doing something very new, or you're putting yourselves out there in a way that I think feels like very vulnerable. And I think you guys could be kind of concerned with the first house about like how you're being perceived. There could be some fears here about this new path that you're walking towards. You could just feel very exposed or just very new. And the cool thing about the journey, it's beautiful energy, right? Because it signifies that you're on a new path. It signifies that we're on a new adventure, right? But with an adventure, it's going to come lessons. It's going to come with ups. It's going to come with downs. And we can't necessarily skip over that because it's all part of the journey, right? So with the first house, you guys, I think, are stepping into a new experience where you might feel like very vulnerable or very seen or like in the spotlight in some way. And there's sort of like this energy of wanting to make sure that you're perceived well is what I get from that. This energy of like wanting to be perceived well or taking responsibility for how others perceive you and how you are also perceiving them. The filter through which you're viewing the situation could be coming into play also. So let us continue, group 3. What else? Oh, okay. What else, Spirit, does group 3 need to know about this month of September? Let's see. Okay. We've got King of Cups reversed coming through. We also have the 10 of Cups coming up. Okay, what else? We have the Chariot card coming through as well. We also have the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck. So let's kind of pause on this for a moment. Yeah, look at this. There's something like you guys are navigating through that's a little scary. Like it's kind of this unknown energy. And I'm being drawn to like how this little cat is viewing itself as this, you know, like it's like kind of viewing itself in a way that it doesn't actually appear. But I kind of love this depiction, right? Because it's almost like this cat is seeing itself as something much more powerful than it may actually be in reality. Right? The moon can be Delulu energy. But I almost feel like this Delulu energy is like good in this instance. I don't know. It's almost like having more confidence in yourself seems to be very significant this month. The way you see yourself reflects back to you and to others. And we have the Hierophant card here coming through as well. So for some of you, as you're moving through this kind of unknown new path, you could be seeking out guidance from someone, you know, like a mentor. This could also signify spiritual guidance. This could signify like a manager or someone in your life that's like more experienced than you, who's able to kind of support you along the way. But I do feel, with this Chariot card, that there's kind of some fear, some apprehension, some hesitation before we take the plunge onto this new path. You guys might feel like you've got two different paths that appeal to you this month as well, this way, that way, and you're kind of maybe finally making a decision about which direction you would like to go. Because the Chariot is also talking about like long-term goals and success and victory. Okay. And I see this path laid before you through which you can be successful. But I feel like this month, there's definitely something about like needing to make a decision before we start to like drive ourselves forward. All right, so coming back over here, King of Cups and then the Ten of Cups came out together. They were kind of like comboed up. I'm drawn to this cat. This has nothing to do with that card, okay, what it actually means, but I'm drawn to that cat because I was so drawn to this little cat over here. Do you guys notice how this cat is like very comfortable on its little like blanket here with the people that it knows, its family, contrasted by this cat who is in the unknown, right? It's embarking on a new path. It's dark, right? Just like with the journey. It almost is making me feel like you guys are coming out of something where you were very comfortable, you were very happy, you knew a lot of people, you knew the community, maybe you had family involved in this, and it's almost like you're getting out of that comfort zone, deciding to maybe take that plunge to get out of the comfort zone and kind of move into the dark metaphorically. The King of Cups with this as well can signify like an emotional detachment from something, or maybe even like not having emotional like control, like the mastery over emotions. This could be a specific person in your life as well. Group 3, the King of Cups reversed could be like maybe like a masculine energy, like a person in your life who maybe you would typically look to as like a mentor or a support, like an emotional support, but it's in reverse. So this person, if this is a specific person, I feel like this person might not be the happiest about the changes that you're making, or they're struggling with like emotional regulation, mastery of their own emotions, and maybe this is impacting you in some way. But that, that King of Cups energy can also just be your own energy as well. So let's get a little more info, Group 3. I feel like I'm just very much intuitively, interpreting these cards versus like using the traditional meanings. So let's just see what else Spirit wants to share. What else, Spirit, can we tell Group 3 about this month of September? We have the Angel of Strength. So there's that courage that's going to be needed. Fix it in a minute. Let's see what else. And we have a lion there, kind of going with our cat theme. The big cat theme, to be more specific. Okay. We also have yin and yang. Ooh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so the path that you're on, you guys, with the Angel of Strength, this is like courage that's needed. Courage that's coming to you as you navigate the situation. With the woman holding a coin in reverse, you guys, this could have to do with your money, your career, your value or values, just generally speaking. I want to read to you guys about this Angel of Strength, and the yin yang is interesting too, because this is talking about kind of like a period of like introspection or like waiting before we go, which is kind of what I was getting from that Chariot. It's like, I think you guys are very driven and motivated, but this could be a month where, actually, we're going to go to that first before the Angel of Strength since I'm over there. Yeah, so it talks about being passive and intuitive, right? This card represents the energetic life cycles. Its purpose is to help you identify the particular cyclic energy moving into or out of your experience. In its upright position, it heralds a yin cycle where most of the action seems to be happening underneath the surface of things. This is a great time of receptivity, intuition, and gestation. External circumstances may be forcing you to go within and examine present activity. It's an especially good time for completion, so wrap things up. Yin cycles often call you to be passive, yielding, and reflective, so open up to these sides of your nature. Being more than acting is the intention here, which I think makes a lot of sense, because if we look at all these cards, you guys, they're not moving, right? There's the new beginning here. There's the new path, the new lesson that's unfolding, but she's not actively walking on the path yet. There's an energy of not having chosen the direction yet. And when I look at this 10 of Cups, I do feel like this is the energy of just being in the moment, like being here now, enjoying what you have, the happiness, the people, the joy that you have in your life. And the first house card also talks about needing to kind of be in the moment too, focusing on it one day at a time versus trying to worry so much about what's going to happen in the future. So heading back to this Angel of Strength, I want to read to you guys about this because this is a really interesting card as well. This talks about personal power and inner strength. This amazing angel brings the news that this is a time of increasing power for you. Not the time to be passive or submissive, but to speak your truth and take action on your own behalf. You're capable of taking greater control and directing your own destiny, for the power that comes from within reaches out to the universe and beyond. Inner strength and unlimited resourcefulness flow through you at this time, helping you to create real results. Call upon this wonderful angel and bring your own inner resourcefulness to bring you the focus and resolve to do what's necessary in order to make your dreams a reality. So I definitely think this is like a month where there's like an element of you guys reevaluating, reassessing, kind of like going within to kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? To sort of understand how we're going to channel this energy, the Chariot and the Angel of Strength going forward. Okay. Like planning, having more of a plan. And I think coming into the realization with the Angel of Strength that you're a lot more powerful and you're more in control of your choices and decisions than maybe you realize that you are, even if it doesn't always seem like it at the moment. Okay. So let's look at a couple of these. Group 3. Let's see. We've got the moon coming up again. You will be guided through darkness. Yeah, I definitely think that there is like someone in your life that's helping you guys, like a mentor or like a spiritual advisor. There's someone here that is in your corner. Could be a family member too with the 10 of Cups. Let's see one more. We also have the gate. A barrier keeps you from your goal. That's interesting. So that's interesting because it's like we have honor and good luck as well. So that's positive. But like it's giving me this energy of like you guys, maybe you're being blocked from something, which is kind of forcing you into this yin energy, right? And maybe because of the blockage, you're feeling like unclear about, all right, well, now what am I going to do? But it's so interesting we have like this moon card coming up more than once, right? So it's like, again, I think Spirit is really calling on you to take this like one day at a time. And that's kind of what we have to do when things are unclear. Just kind of feel into the answers. So we're going to take a look next, group 3, at your charms and dice. I'm going to clear off these cards and then we will jump into that. All right, group 3, let's dive into, your charms and your dice. We're going to start with some dice here. Let's see what else you all need to know about this upcoming month of September. All right, let's see. We've got Libra, the number 2. We've got the 10th house, fire energy. Okay, let's see. Let's grab some charms. What else, Spirit, for group 2? I'm sorry, group 3. Group 3, please, in the month of September. Okay. Definitely some business stuff coming through for you guys, career stuff. Okay. And I think that there's something about like career, but also like your public image with the 10th house that's like really significant. So, oh, and we have like a little cue, but I don't know exactly where that landed. So we're just going to take that off. It didn't really land anywhere specific. All right. So group 3. I want to start with the career energy because we've got this Mercury, the playing cards, and then the little diamond. So Mercury has to do with communication and our thoughts, our thought processes around things. We also have the playing cards, which talk about fate. I think of fate, but also maybe like taking chances or taking a gamble for some of you. And then we've also got the little diamond, which talks about making a promise. So I feel like there's some sort of promise or some sort of commitment coming through as it pertains to career. You guys could be receiving some sort of communication. And with the playing cards, it's some sort of like fated, destined energy lesson, I think, that you're moving through with regard to career. I do think that with whatever this is, now the financial stuff may not be specifically tied to the career for all of you, but a lot of times that's how most of us make our money is through the career. It's like what we do every day. The Christmas tree signifies joy, right? So there's something about finances this month that's actually going really well. And maybe whatever communication you're receiving has to do with like an upgrade to your finances or just feeling really happy and fulfilled with your finances, having all the things that you need to feel comfortable. You know, when I think of a diamond as well, I think of like high value. So there's something about career energy that's you're moving through where this is like a high value opportunity or a high value moment. It's giving like expensive. Okay. So that could be the case for some of you where we're committing to something new or receiving some good news about our career that is really benefiting us financially. But the thing that's interesting though is that we have the 10th house, which can also talk about career and public image coming up in the health. Sorry guys, so I was saying you've got it with this little fire element being here. The fire element can talk about being energetic, driven, and passionate. So I definitely think that there's something happening with your career this month where you're feeling very driven and very passionate about whatever this is that you're doing or wanting to go after. And there's this energy with the button of trying to like secure it and push through a little bit. But it's almost like, it's just interesting to me that it's coming up in the health and well-being section, right? Like something about your passion for your career, your public image is like impacting your well-being. I'm not necessarily seeing anything like worrisome that you guys are being perceived poorly, right? Or that there would be anything happening that, like, I think if anything, your public image is that you're perceived well, and maybe that you're perceived as someone who is reliable, dependable, and someone who, maybe there's something about the way your health and fitness ties into this as well. Maybe it's connected to what you're doing for work for some of you, but people know you for this in a positive way is what I'm seeing. We have the number 2 coming up here, and this is coming up in the area of partnerships, which is talking about balance and harmony. So there is an emphasis here on striving for balance and harmony with your partnerships this month, whether this is, I feel like for a lot of you guys, this is going to be like business partnerships, but also just any partnership that you would have. Balance and harmony is of significance here. We have some energy here as well within your home and family life. So, it's interesting because in your cards, do you guys remember we got like the 10 of Cups, which can talk about home and, well, specifically more family energies, that emotional fulfillment through family. So we've got some sort of spiritual insight being unlocked, which makes a lot of sense with the journey, because this also is talking about a spiritual lesson or a spiritual journey that you're on. And the little clothespin talks about like securing and holding something down. So it could be for some of you, for instance, that this career opportunity, even though it's maybe thrusting you into like an uncomfortable place because it's new, it could be that like it's helping you to unlock a higher level of security for your family, your home life, potentially. And closing us out here, we have the energy of Libra here with self. So Libra energy has to do with establishing balance. And it's so interesting because Libra can also talk about like appearances, the way that, you know, ruled by Venus, the way we look, potentially. It just seems like there's something that you guys are worried about with the way that you look, how you're perceived, your public image, the way you're coming across. And so Libra energy is saying that, you know, balance is going to be everything. And that's coming up with your partnerships as well, as we discussed. But I think it kind of makes sense with a lot of the cards that we got, you guys, because I see with this Angel of Strength and the Fire that you guys are very passionate about whatever this is that you're doing. But there's also a lot of energy that we have here of needing to kind of like lean back and receive and not necessarily go guns blazing into something, you know? So I think what Spirit is guiding you to right now is to strive for the appearance of balance, right? Not necessarily coming in too hot or too strong, but not being too passive either. So hopefully this made sense for you guys. It looks like a really positive month ahead for most of you. If you did find this reading to be helpful and it did resonate, please comment below and let me know about it. And if you would like to continue to support my work, you can of course subscribe to the channel. Do be sure that you hit the notification bell so that you will be updated whenever I post new readings or updates for the channel. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.